Blessings, beloveds. Just a couple of things I'd like to put out there and share. The first thing is that there's been a few inquiries about my Venus workshops. So I just want to clarify a couple of things. I have 3 courses, workshops rather, that have already been recorded. Now, one of those workshops is the Venus star point and the position of natal Venus in your birth chart. And what is the difference between your Venus star point and your natal Venus, and how to understand both of them and how to understand the differences between them when you are looking at those in your birth chart. That's one workshop, which is just over 3 hours. The other workshop is Venus in aspect, as in conjunction specifically, to any of your planets or asteroids or any other points in your chart, including the nodes. So what does it mean to have Venus conjunct your north node, your south node, your sun, your moon, Uranus, Pluto, Vesta, etc., etc.? That's about a 4.5-hour workshop. The last one, which was the one that I just did not so long ago, is Venus, the entire pentagram. That is the 5 Venus star points in your birth chart, how to plot them, how to understand them, how to understand which is the giving arm, which is the receiving arm, giving leg, receiving foot, etc., etc. How to identify aspect patterns, whether your Venus star points are connected to an aspect pattern in your chart. There's quite a bit of information in that. That goes for about 4.5 hours. And all these workshops are audio recordings, and they all come with fairly extensive PDF files that I've actually put together. So you'd receive the audio and the PDF files, which is more than adequate in terms of being able to follow through and understand the teachings. Sometimes people ask me, well, I have a basic knowledge in astrology. Would I be able to follow this? And the answer is yes. And even if you are intermediate and advanced, if you haven't worked with the pentagram or the Venus star points, then this material is actually suitable for any level, in my opinion. So that's that. So if any of you are interested in any of those workshops, or all of them for that matter, just shoot me an email and let me know. Regarding doing another workshop on the pentagram for people in Europe, I haven't had enough of a calling for that as yet. I've only had, I think, maybe 2 people. That's not enough for me to, put together an entire workshop. I'd need a few more than 2 people. So if you're hearing this for the first time and you are a person based in Europe, please email me so I can start to see if I can build up a little bit of a group. And if I can, then I'll do a live recording with those of you in Europe. If not, then again, the workshop is available as an audio recording if you wish to have that. Okay, the other thing that I wanted to mention, I might just share my screen, just bring up, so I'm just going to bring up the chart for the moment. Sorry, there's a few motorbikes in the background, and someone made a peculiar comment / question and said, what is the water sound dripping in the background? It sounds like someone's going to the toilet, which I thought was a bit of a rude comment because, that's just a little bit, you could have put it in a different way, whoever said that. I just deleted the comment anyway. But if you are listening, it's actually my little kitty cat's water fountain. She's got a beautiful water fountain where she drinks water from, and so that dripping sound is her water fountain. That's all that is. Okay, so the next thing I want to say is that I am going to try to keep a momentum going with my classes, workshops, and until I actually have somebody assist me with putting my entire program online, that's going to take some time. That is a 2-year training program, right? Astrology course. Until I do that, in the interim, I'm just going to continue doing random workshops, right? Based on different subjects, different content, etc. And so today's recording is basically to invite all of you to let me know what's lacking in your knowledge, if anything. What are you interested in understanding more of? What is an area that you could really use some professional sort of training around? There's lots of different things that I can offer and teach, and I've got an endless list. It's literally endless. I could do workshops for the rest of my life and still wouldn't have finished teaching everything, because there's so much to teach. And I do have a fairly extensive background, given I've been working with astrology in this lifetime for about 25 years. That is on a professional level. I started reading astrology when I was just 11 years old, so I've got the experience, etc. That's not the issue. I'm just interested in hearing from you guys, because I have a different, quite a versatile sort of range of viewers on my channel. Some are very advanced, some are intermediate, some are beginners, and wherever you sit in that sort of scaling, if you like, there are still things that I could teach that would be appropriate for both beginners and intermediate and advanced, for that matter. It just depends what the subject is and how deep we go, of course. But I'm very open to suggestions, because I'd like to hear from you guys what you really want to know about, what you'd really want to learn. So the intention is to create ongoing sort of workshops around content that perhaps would be the most useful for you guys. I guess each workshop, my aim is to make it around about 3 hours. They tend to go longer, and most of you, well, all of you who have attended my previous workshops are well and truly aware of that. I always say it's 3 hours. It ends up being 4. I had one that went for 6 hours, and yeah, I do apologize for that, because I know that can be a bit of an inconvenience, but it's just a case of trimming down how much I put into one particular course. I tend to put a lot into it, and that's something that I need to kind of cut back on, because not everyone can sit there for more than 3 hours, and I completely understand that. So I'll work on that aspect myself, because that's something I need to work on. So let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what are the burning sort of questions you have, that you really want to understand, more deeply. It could be looking at transits. It could be looking at, Uranus transits, Pluto transits. Try to be as specific as you can, and try to understand that it would be a 3 to 4 hour workshop. So there's only so much I can put into that. So I don't want people coming back and saying, oh, let's do transits to, all the outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. That would be like a that would be hours and hours and hours and hours, right? So, I'm just asking that people be sort of specific and mindful of what could be accommodated within a 3 to 4 hour Zoom sitting, right? And I'm open to all, suggestions, provided I've got the knowledge and experience to teach on that, and I'm confident in most things. So let's just see what you all come back with, and let's see what the most popular sort of topic is, if you like, what there's a sort of larger calling for. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't consider other people's suggestions, because there's fewer people interested in that. It could be something that I could just do a little bit further down the track. But I just want to hear what's on your radar right now. What would be most helpful for you to understand. And don't be afraid to, ask about something that you maybe don't know how to explain very well, or, just whatever it is. Just don't feel that you can't sort of speak up. Just speak up. And if I can assist, if I can put it together, if I've got the knowledge myself, I'll do my very best to to accommodate all of you to my best capability. So that's what I wanted to put out there, because I'm already starting to think, I mean, really, realistically, what I wanted to do next was I wanted to follow through with the workshop where I did Venus in conjunction to all the planets, all the asteroids, and the planetary nodes in the birth chart. That was a wonderful class, actually, or workshop, and I wanted to follow through with Venus squaring and Venus in opposition to planets, asteroids, nodes, etc. And I do intend to do that, but whilst I'm sort of working around that, I also would like to hear back from you guys relative to what you'd like. And as I said, I'm happy to try to accommodate that if I can. Okay, so that was pretty much it as far as sort of my little announcements go. I just wanted to also show everybody that we're approaching eclipse season, and I will come back and talk about this in depth, but here's a solar eclipse for the end of the year, which is the 4th of December. It'll be the 3rd for Northern Hemisphere. And so it's at 12 degrees of Sagittarius, so solar eclipse, new moon, right? That's why you see the sun and the moon together. Now, fortunately, what Bernadette Brady says about this family of eclipses is indeed very, very, very positive. Very, very positive. But I will come back and talk about this in greater depth as we approach the month of December, right? But the other thing that I wanted to also sort of point out is that before then, on the 19th of November, so that's, just a few weeks away, we have a lunar eclipse, and it's in Taurus, right? And so what's really interesting about this one is that if you look at the nodes, they're down to, 1 degrees and 41 minutes of Sag and Gemini. So they're basically, almost through their cycle of being in Sag and Gemini for the last, 18 months or so, 19, 20 months, something like that. And what will happen is they go into Scorpio, Taurus, just here. So 19th of January 2022, which is not far away at all, we have this nodal shift, right? So we've had a significant amount of time with the nodes in Sag and Gemini. I think that's been really obvious with what it's meant, because it's it's played into, the background of the world cataclysmic events that have been going on for the last nearly 2 years. And think about the concept of beliefs versus facts, right? And that's one of the core issues that we've had in the mix of the narrative that's been playing out the last 2 years, and the whirlwind of confusion, misinformation, deception, and I suppose we could say righteousness in terms of people's beliefs and so on. And that goes, across the board, right? So it's been a very, very interesting journey. But we're about to embark on a very new nodal journey. And that speaks to the evolution of the planet, the world, of course, the whole human race. And then, of course, we also can look at it more closely and deeply relative to our own personal birth chart, right? And where the transiting nodes in Scorpio and Taurus, where they will be in our birth chart, because that's going to be a journey of around about 19 months, something like that, of the nodes in those signs. And yeah, it's I will come back and talk about this in fairly extensively and deeply, because I have quite a bit to say about it, and I don't want to go into it right now. That wasn't the intention of this video, but I just wanted to flag that this is why we've got the lunar eclipse in November in Taurus, because there's a journey of the nodes, sort of getting very close to shifting. And so here it is here. Let me just show you. So if you can see this, I'll just enlarge it. So this is just a list of eclipses from 5th of July 2020, and I've actually gone pretty far ahead, and in fact that's gone way too far. I don't know why it's gone that far. Let me just never mind what's below, but here's what I wanted to highlight. So we have for this year the beginning of the Taurus eclipse energy coming through, right? So it starts in November as a lunar eclipse. Then April next year, we have a solar eclipse in Taurus. And then you can see a little bit later in the year, November, we have another lunar eclipse in Taurus. Then we have another lunar eclipse in Taurus again. So for the next few years, next couple of years, we're going to have a lot of Taurus energy of eclipses, next couple of years actually. So, and Scorpio as well, obviously, right? Because it's the Scorpio Taurus nodal axis. Those polarities are being emphasized through eclipses because that's what the nodes are shifting into. And so this is going to be a very interesting journey in terms of what's going to show up over the next couple of years. And Taurus, Scorpio, well, Scorpio is one of the most complex signs in the zodiac. And Taurus is not considered to be a complex sign because by its very nature, it's not complex, right? It's pretty basic in terms of its signature, what it stands for, what it describes. However, it's Taurus sitting opposite Scorpio, and that's where Taurus becomes complex because its shadow is Scorpio. So we're going to see a lot of matters again on the earth plane, because Taurus is the sign that corresponds to Earth, Mother Earth. Of course, survival, being able to take care of ourselves and survive whatever the circumstances may be. And the Scorpio component, of course, is going to be the necessity of being able to let go and release, and let go of a lot of things, actually, because we are moving into a very different paradigm. Of course, there is much more to it than that. And sorry, I've just forgotten to reduce the volume on some things here. There's far, far, far more to it than that, and I'm absolutely going to come back and talk about these themes. But I just wanted to flag that as something that we are, not far away from at all. And it's just going to be very interesting to see how this unfolds. So that's really all I wanted to say today. As I said before, if you are interested in any of my the workshops that I've got available, which are 3 different ones, all on Venus, the goddess of love. I'm so proud of that work, and I love what I've created, and I love what I've been able to share with the beautiful people that have joined those classes. And I really, love for people to get the benefit of this material, this work that I've spent a very long time putting together. One thing that I always knew I would do is teach, disseminate, this wisdom. It's just it basically feels very natural and authentic for me to be doing it, and I have such a such a deep passion for it, and I'm very lucky that I'm able to share it from the level of understanding that I have, which seems to be received quite well by those that participate in my workshops, etc. So shoot me an email if you're interested in any of that. And also, I'd love to hear from all of you relative to if I was to put a workshop together in a couple of weeks' time, because it's generally how long it takes me to put one together. That is me working every day on it. It's a lot of work, but I love I love it when I've done it and I've got it all there and I'm ready to give it. That's a real it's just a beautiful moment for me. But yeah, let me know what it is that you are burning to really know about and to understand. It could be anything. So just put it out there, let me know, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I'll be back soon with some more Astro, Saturn direct. Yes, I know that it's already been direct for nearly 2 weeks, and that's fine. It's only really starting to pick up its momentum, so we've still got quite a few months of it being direct. So I think most of you have a fairly good sense of what it means anyway. You can sort of see it out there in the world, I think, with lots of things moving forward pretty quickly. The next sort of foundations and structures that are being implemented in whichever way that may be, and certainly just from our own personal perspective, wherever Saturn is in our birth chart. But I will come back and talk about it with some more details and some more depth. So sending you much love and see you all soon. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.